Hi everyone, I'm Yo and this is Virginia. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, Knowing, Caring, and Loving Your Lady Parts. So guess what? I have a Q&A video for you about vaginal discharge. A lovely lady was asking questions about what is normal discharge and what should I look for. I guess she was concerned because she saw something going on and she wanted to know more about it. So stay tuned because I have all the answers for you about vaginal discharge and also keeping that area clean, which is really important. So let's get started. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button to help us support the channel and share with your friends. Okay, let's do the Q&A about vaginal discharge. So, Virginia wants to tell you, what is vaginal discharge? Well, it's a normal fluid-like substance that you find in the vagina that all women have. And you may see this or notice this when you're wiping, or actually that is on your underwear. And it is normal for every woman to have some degree of vaginal discharge. And it's important because it contributes to your lubrication, which you want when you become sexually active, with respect to penetration or intercourse, anything going in that area so it doesn't hurt. And also it acts as a defense mechanism. It basically protects this lovely area from getting any kind of infection. So normally the vagina has like a self-cleaning mechanism. There's kind of like a housekeeper, and that's what the vaginal discharge does. It helps to protect that area to keep it normal so you don't have to think about it. So what is normal discharge? Well, normal discharge usually is clear, kind of maybe a little bit off whitish color, and the consistency is sort of like a thick, kind of gooey, kind of elastic substance. It's kind of like, do you know the egg white when you, have you ever done this with egg white? It's kind of that consistency. That would be normal. So there is a normal vaginal discharge in terms of its color and odor, and you want to be aware of that. And if that changes, as I mentioned before, and you start becoming aware of it, then you may want to see your doctor about it. With respect to odor too, generally, yeah, there is an odor to vaginal discharge, but it's pleasant. It shouldn't be unpleasant, like it shouldn't smell foul or fishy or whatever you hear people describe it. And if it starts smelling kind of, or you're noticing a smell, then there may be something going on again. So again, consistency of your fluid in terms of the color and in terms of the odor, it should stay relatively about the same. Now just remember though that in terms of the amount of vaginal discharge, it does change with respect to your cycle in terms of hormones and ovulation. So before your ovulation, you tend to have a little bit more lubricant, and also when you become aroused, and also usually before your period. So there are dips in it, and you'll sort of get in tune with your cycle with respect to when that changes. And some women and girls have more discharge than others, and you may actually have a lot, or you may have a little bit, and that could be normal for you. If you have a lot, you may have to wear, unfortunately, a panty liner. Sometimes that's good. So you have a lot of vaginal discharge might be good when you're trying to become sexually engaged, and you don't have to worry about using additional lubricant. And just to graze the surface of it, your vaginal discharge does change in terms of the decades of your life as a woman. Unfortunately, in menopause, and we will talk about that, the fun time for a woman, vaginal discharge often changes because, again, that changes with respect to estrogen, and estrogen dips and goes down, and you become, unfortunately, less lubricated. Also, just be aware of people who are on contraceptive pills. The percentage of estrogen and progesterone can alter, of course, your lubricant. And if you find that changes, seek some help from your pharmacist or doctor. So the question was also, well, when should you be concerned? Well, as I mentioned before, when your vaginal discharge becomes different and you start noticing things and the odor starts to change or the color starts to change, then there could be something going on. So what is not normal? Well, something that is green, pussy, yellow, and it starts to smell foul, that is not normal. It can be indicative of some sort of infection, parasites. Of course, the other thing is sexual transmitted diseases and infections, STD, STIs. Again, please wear something, protect yourself against that, because often for ladies, men can often be asymptomatic of these things. So you want to make sure that you protect yourself. That's another aside though. The other thing is if it becomes white and cottage cheese-like, that can be indicative of a yeast infection. It becomes chunky like cottage cheese. The other thing that's often not normal is any kind of pain in this area, itching or burning. That can be indicative of, again, an infection, some bacteria, STD, or a painful condition that I've mentioned in my other videos. If there's a normal sort of discharge or nothing's going on or pelvic floor dysfunction, usually you're not aware of it. If you start paying attention to the area because it starts to itch or something or becomes uncomfortable, then that might be something that you might want to get assessed and see your doctor about if it doesn't go away. So here's your bonus part of the video. So tips. So what should you do to safeguard to keep your vaginal discharge normal? Well, first thing is make sure you try to keep the area clean. Try not to introduce any foreign bacteria in the area. So I mentioned before, of course, being smart with respect to being, if you're sexually active, in terms of preventing, safeguarding yourself from any STD or STIs. So wipe from front to back, okay? In particular, if you've gone for a number 2. So you're not inviting bacteria from the anus up, okay? A lot of people don't think about that, and that's really, really important. So it's a natural self-cleaning environment. So you don't need to put, I don't know, I've heard of people putting vinegar, putting in douches, things like that. That's just disturbing the natural balance of the lubricant and the pH balance of the vagina, and you want to keep it as natural as possible. So just cleaning it, if you have a handheld shower, like the bidets are great. I don't know why you don't have them in Canada on a regular basis, but you know, a shower head and just using some mild unscented soap on the outside, never clean on the inside. Or if you don't have access to a shower head and you want to get in that area, just use a soft cloth, cotton. I love organic cotton. Use that to wipe the area with mild soap and rinse it off, okay? So nothing scented, nothing abrasive, no feminine hygiene products that are scented, so that can irritate the area. Or pads or things like that that are scented. Just keep everything healthy generally, good hygiene. Eat well too, to keep that normal bacterial count in your body that we have in our intestines, as you know, and in our vagina, normal, at a good level, so it helps to fight any normal bacteria that might come in the area. I find this works well is if you have a hair dryer and again, you're susceptible to yeast infections, things like that, you can just gently dry it on the cool setting, okay, your vagina and stuff after you have a shower, so things stay kind of not so moist. The other thing is I really like, and I'm not a pharmacist or a naturopath, but there is a natural flora in the vagina, and you know, there you've got some really good bacteria. So what you want to do is maintain that good bacteria, and sometimes taking a probiotic might be helpful, especially if you're more prone to yeast infections. Just keeping that natural sort of bacterial growth in there that fights the infections, the good bacteria we call it, at a nice healthy level. So thank you again for tuning in to this Q&A video about vaginal discharge. If you have any other questions, please comment below. I'd be happy to answer them in another video. And Virginia and I look so forward to seeing you again soon.